For a long time, governments and societies act as if you could do these things without noticing the religious theme. I don't care what it is, you're going to run into religion either as an aid or a block.
What are some of the major concerns that you see occurring around the world today, things that are bothersome or things that become of major concern to you that either are affected by religion or that the religion could have a positive effect upon?
To everyone's surprise, almost all religions in the world are prospering. Mm-hmm. Since the 18th century Enlightenment, most people in my club, namely university, media, or whatever, thought, and many still think, that religion is dying. Well, it's weaker in this little northern part of the world, but Africa, Asia, Latin America, you can't keep up with the growth. And how that goes is going to be very important. When you have militant fronts, we're in real trouble, because nothing leads people to dig in more than the belief that God is telling you this is your property or they have to be thrown out. Insofar as the people 200 years ago thought any religion would survive, they thought the only ones that would survive would be very tolerant and rationalistic and so on. And of course the growth is in the, some of them are exuberant. The Pentecostalisms, the ecstatic movements around the world, they are booming and they're not out to get anybody. But the others are pretty hardline people who I think in the face of all the forces of modernity, pluralism, immigration, media, it's all coming at you. And you use your religion then to form an enclave and boundaries and barriers and hang out with your own crowd and confirm yourself. In all the work I've been involved with, I've never seen that you can't have deep convictions. You can even be convinced that yours is the only truth. I've never seen that need bar you from dealing with others. Tolerance is beautiful, but tolerance really means that I'm running a show and I tolerate you. Or tolerance means if I can get you to believe as little as I do, we'll get along well. And so I've been working on a different concept. Most Americans know the word in the public square, xenophobia, fear of the stranger, hatred of the stranger. There's another word, xenophilia, love of the stranger, which is the Greek word translated as hospitality. So I've been using that a good deal as a symbol, and I'll use a metaphor that's way too intimate for the public square, but then you can enlarge on it. What hospitality means. My wife and I and our family are Christian, and our home just is full of Christian images that you don't even think about being there. If you are invited to our house and you're a Muslim or a Jew, and that happens with reasonable frequency in the work I'm in, we don't take down the cross of Jesus off the wall. Our son's baptismal saints are there. You don't even think about it. They're just there. We don't take them down, but we think about them the night you're coming. And we will talk differently. And you will talk differently. And you won't stop being what you were, but you will have heard us in a new way, and vice versa. It's purifying our religion and yours. If you're a Jew, and this often happens, and it's Friday night and Sabbath, and they invite the Martys, suppose they say, well, the Martys are coming, and they're Christian, and so this Friday night we're not going to have the prayer and the candle and the wine and all that. We're cheated, because we won't really know you. We want to really know you. But it'll go well because you'll be, quote, disarmed. You want to teach us, you're going to think about what you're talking about, we're going to listen differently, and so on. Now, as I say, the leap from that intimacy to the public square is a lot more difficult, and yet it can happen. After 9/11, I kept score. 2 Sikhs were killed by somebody who thought they were Muslim. I think that's it. Now, to have all that sudden rearrangement in American life, I could open any day's newspaper and find hundreds killed in Sri Lanka, Tamil Tigers and Buddhists, some kind of Asia, Hindu, Muslim, Middle East, Jewish, Arab, Muslim, and so on. You find it all over. Northern Ireland, Protestant, Catholic. It's all over. But where you have a republic, it seems to me that the religious voices should exploit that and set up the conversation. Now, interfaith organizations as such, the total budget for everyone in the world isn't 10 minutes of the Iraq War. So you're not going to win on those grounds. But you can win in neighborhoods. You can win in church, synagogue, mosque. You can win in locale communities. You can in voting, in the products you buy, in all those ways. And I think that's our only way to move beyond.